Siomra beag.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sure Look, Sure Listen, the podcast that takes a pop at culture. Sure look, sure listen.
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 Sure look, sure listen. You know what, Ben? I have a funny feeling that I remember doing all of this before. But sure look, that doesn't matter, because this week we're taking a look at Nightmare Alley, which, going by your dreadful show notes, is something to do with Guillermo del Toro. We're also going to look at the trailer for the new program Hawkeye.
Hold on.
Yes?
Hold on.
You don't interrupt this bit, Ben.
What was that little jab at my show notes?
Your show notes, it just says Nightmare Alley Guillermo. What does that mean?
It means Nightmare Alley Guillermo.
All right, fair enough.
What do you? And first of all,
here
don't
we
you
go.
sneak in little jabs at me in the intro because it's uninterruptible, right?
You can't interrupt the intro.
Right? Right?
Now I have to start again.
No, you don't. Get on with it.
Sure, look, Ben, this week we're having a look at Nightmare Alley, something to do with Guillermo, apparently. Then we're going to have a look at the Hawkeye trailer. And, Ben, we're going to have a look at What If, starring Killmonger. What if there was more Killmonger? And I've seen a film, Ben, the new film. It's a spooky, scary film called Malignant, from your favourite director and mine, James, the one and only one.
He is the one and only, Michael. Should
Yes.
listen.
Yes.
If that wasn't enough,
Go on,
Right.
which it isn't.
we're also going to be taking a trip down memory lane, Michael. We're going to be looking at the use of memory in the Sci Fi films, Michael.
Oh, very clever.
Sci-fi films.
Benjamin,
Yes.
it might be enough if we keep interrupting each other as much this week. What is Nightmare Alley and what has it got to do with Guillermo?
Well, Michael, this December, we've just gotten a trailer for... not this December, sorry. We've just gotten a trailer for Nightmare Alley from Guillermo del Toro. It's his latest little flick. It's coming out in December, Michael, in December. It seems to be following in the vein of The Shape of Water, in that it's set in an indeterminate 1920s to 1940s America.
The olden times.
Yes, Michael, but as opposed to a secret government lab facility, this time it's a bloody sideshow carnival, a freak show, Michael, is where it's set.
Not
And
my
it's-
favourite setting, Ben. I've never enjoyed that setting.
Is it because it's a bit mean, Michael, and a bit just
It might be that.
sinister?
It might be that it's gross and horrible, but I don't know. I've never enjoyed a freak show. It was one of my least favourite things about Heroes. It was one of my least favourite seasons of American Horror Story. I don't know. Maybe just let's leave it in the past, Guillermo.
Yeah, it's. Look, I mean, yeah, maybe we should just leave that kind of thing into the past, Michael. It's harmful and it's not very good for the people involved. Usually, is it, Michael? It's not. It's not. great news.
But then on the other hand, maybe Guillermo will have a good take on it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he's got a bloody stellar cast to give it a go, Michael.
Go on.
The main character seems to be one Bradley Cooper, Michael.
Oh, I've heard of him.
And from what we can piece together from the trailer, he seems to be, right? Now bear with me here.
Yes.
He seems to be some kind of occultist at certain points in the trailer,
Right.
right? And then other times, he's a labourer for the freak show.
Oh, is it in his imagination, Ben?
So, no, Michael, what I reckon is, right?
Go on.
One
Go on.
Bradley Cooper made his living pre-1920s market crash.
Right.
Pre the Great Depression, he made he earned his coppers, Michael, by being an old occultist and messing around with some magic-y stuff. And Michael, there's two possibilities here: either the Great Depression hit and he was laid low and he ended up being a worker, or Michael, he bloody coaxed something into this reality and it's taken hold of him, Michael, because the central narrative that we see in this trailer, Michael, is that there's some kind of mysterious beast that eats things. And we find all this out, Michael, through Willem Dafoe's bloody narration. Willem Dafoe is playing a P.T. Barnum-style ringmaster.
Classic.
He's given
Go for all the tropes.
Going for all the tropes, Michael. He's giving us his little spiel. He's telling us, is it a man? Is it a creature? What is it? You'll see it feed.
It's Bradley Cooper, though.
It's possibly Bradley Cooper by the looks of things, Michael.
Oh, very good.
It's got other stellar people in it there, Michael. It's got Rooney Mara.
Oh, yeah, from the girl with so many tattoos.
The girl with so many tattoos.
So many.
And then it's got Kate Blanchett.
Yes, not very few tattoos.
Very few tattoos. The girl with less tattoos.
Yeah, fewer tattoos.
It has Toni Collette, Michael.
From Who is After Killing Dad?
Oh, who's axing off the family? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally, Michael has a couple of standards in there. It has a Ron Perlman.
Oh, he's very good.
It has a Richard Deitchman.
Don't know who that is.
Anyway, you'd know him to see it, Michael. But anyway, it looks to be a good old-fashioned Guillermo del Toro period piece horror. We'll probably find out that the monster's a grand old lad and that humans aren't the best.
Humans were the monsters all along, Benjamin.
All along,
Speaking,
Michael.
Benjamin, of humans being the monsters all along, did you see the trailer for the upcoming Marvel television show, Hawkeye and the Legend of Go Away Boring Family? It's time for adventures.
Yes. It's the working title for the project, Michael, is Hawkeye Abandonment or Hawkeye Neglect.
Yes.
And you can take a look. So for a man, Michael, who was just pining for an elf family.
5 years, Ben. 5 years he was looking for them.
5 years of just like, Jesus, where's my family?
Where's my family? I wish they were here. I've gone mad. I'm all stabby now because they're not here.
The second he gets a Kevin McAllister Home Alone style opportunity, he's just like, right, you lot go back to the ranch. I'm going to
on
out
adventures
here in New York. So yeah,
Benjamin, this was one of the things we've discussed about the potential of this show many times, because the comic book that this is very clearly, and this trailer shows us that it is very clearly based on it, Hawkeye, My Life as a Weapon, has him as a single schlubby loser in New York. And we always wondered how it was gonna tie in having Hawkeye as a single schlubby loser with a string of X's with this new family man Hawkeye. And what they've done is essentially ignored it.
Yeah, it's pretty handy. We're just like, okay, we'll just write them out at the start. It's grand.
Yeah. Piss off, kids.
Yeah, piss off. It's Christmas, the most family-orientated time of the year. I, your father, a family man, noted for my character as a family man, has just told you to go do one because I want to run around on rooftops.
Piss off, kids. I got to do ninja stuff.
Should put that on a t-shirt. Piss off, kids. I've got to do ninja stuff.
That'd be much more exciting.
So, anyway, as you said, Michael, it seems to be very closely modelled on David Aja and Matt Fraction's famous My Life as a Weapon run on Hawkeye, which is a kind of a character-defining comic.
Which is funny because it's a character-defining comic so long after Hawkeye was created, because he was just a circus freak show sideshow archer for so many years, and My Life as a Weapon really redefined him.
It did. It finally gave him a likable personality.
A bit of a point.
I'm not a bit of a point. Get it? Arrows, points.
Arrow, yeah. Pointy
good,
arrow,
Michael.
yeah.
Very good.
Sticking in people. Benjamin.
Yes.
There are many things here which are directly from My Life as a Weapon. For example, there's a car chase with funny arrows.
Yep. There's a bloody pack of lads in tracksuits.
There's the tracksuit mafia, Ben. I don't know if they'll call them that, but there they are. I hope they do, Benjamin. I had a look at the cast, Benjamin.
Yeah.
Or actually, I tell a lie, Ben. I say I had a look at the cast, but Nayano from our Discord had a look at the cast.
Oh, very good.
And found out that there's not a single Russian actor, Ben. So that should be good. We should be in for a treat with regards to the accents.
Oh, we're going to have a lot of David Harbors.
We're going to have a lot of very inconsistent accents. It's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of Ray Winstones.
I'm looking forward to Ray Winstone. Do you know what, Michael? Right, here's a little twist for you. If Ray Winstone had been cast as a Russian in the tracksuit mafia of Hawkeye,
yes,
that would have made more sense, because the Russians in the Hawkeye comic, My Life as a Weapon, are based on Hawkeye's stereotypes. One of the great things that Matt Fraction's run does with Hawkeye is it recognizes that Hawkeye doesn't speak Russian. Hawkeye doesn't know how. Hawkeye doesn't speak many languages other than English, and so a lot of the time he's assuming what the Russians are saying because he doesn't understand them. So it's a lot of stereotyping, Michael, here and there. So it would have made more sense to have noted stand-in for misogyny Ray Winstone.
Yeah, take that, misogyny.
To play that. But no, we're probably going to get something else.
Benjamin, the biggest thing, of course, from Hawkeye My Life as a Weapon is that it's all about the relationship with Kate Bishop.
Yes, one Kate Bishop, Michael.
Yes, and she's there. She looks good. Everything looks right.
She looks like a Hawkeye.
She looks like a Hawkeye. She looks like a Kate Bishop. She's speaking like a Kate Bishop. She's doing arrows and shit. She's got the costume. I'm pretty confident. I think it's going to be fine.
It's going to be Hawkeye. It's going to be good. It looks to have a few more comedic beats than we're used to from almost more comedy than action, at least based on the trailer. Well, I mean, it's going to have a lot of action, but you get what I mean.
I saw the trailer, Benjamin, and I turned to either you or my good lady friend, I don't know who it was, and I said, there's a certain what's his name vibe to this. There's a certain Shane Black vibe to this.
There's a very Shane Black vibe to this.
It looks like we're getting a buddy Shane Black Christmas themed action adventure, but this time it's an old guy and a lady.
I'll not lie, Michael, I'm going to watch the fuck out of that.
I think it's going to be good, Ben. I'm quite excited for it. I think the potential weakness of it is Jeremy Renner. Is that he's a bit of an odd fish as the Renster.
Well, how dare you say that about noted Renaissance man Jeremy Renner, Michael? He has an app.
He has an app, yeah.
He makes 1998 style softcore rock music in his spare time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shots of him walking up the road in a long black trench coat.
He's got some weird shit going on, Ben. I think he might be a weird dude.
I think he is a weird dude, but he keeps getting work, Michael.
He's a Hawkeye, Ben.
They keep giving him work.
I don't know what it is, Benjamin. But for whatever reason, I have a bit of an attachment to Hawkeye, even though I don't like Jeremy Renner, and I don't think he's been the best character throughout the history of the MCU. He had the worst haircut that anyone has ever seen. He had very strange character arcs, but for some reason, I'm excited about this.
He's in there with Black Widow in just terms of kind of passing the buck along, where it's just like, oh, we'll fix her in the next movie. We'll give Hawkeye a personality in the next movie.
Yeah. And now his family is his personality. He's got a family. That's his personality. Have you ever known someone who had a family? Have you ever known someone who had a family? Whoa, what a twist.
He's got a ranch and a homestead, and it doesn't make any sense, Michael. That man is out on the front lines of every significant conflict.
Yeah, but he has a family, Ben. That's his personality. Benjamin!
Yeah.
Speaking of things not making sense, what did you think of this week's episode of Marvel's What If?
Oh, Michael, a miss in the hit and miss nature of this particular show. I did not enjoy it.
As much as it loathes me to just kind of flat out agree with you, I flat out agree with you. It's not going to do much for the dynamic of the podcast, Benjamin,
No.
but I thought it was easily the most boring and pointless one. And because it was boring and pointless and didn't throw up any new exciting developments, it made me nitpick a lot more than I usually do.
Here's the thing, right? The other ones give us a glimpse into characters that we were very invested in, Michael, characters that we find interesting. We get to explore, small changes in their thing. It's interesting to see an evil Doctor Strange. That's kind of interesting. It's kind of enjoyable to watch. It's interesting to see, what if Hank Pym was bloody mental.
Yeah, in both cases.
And we've had a lot of time to invest in those characters and kind of get a sense of them. And even Marvel Zombies has a certain charm to it, because it's just like, that'd be mad, a zombie apocalypse in the MCU. That's just interesting.
Mad.
This does nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't really go anywhere, does it?
It just changes, and then it jumps from one Killmonger's better than everybody's seen to another Killmonger's better than everybody's seen. And at a certain point, Michael, you're just sitting there going, eh.
Yeah, I didn't love it. For one thing, because it was so kind of unoriginal and unexciting, it made me really nitpick it a lot more than I've nitpicked the other ones. For example, Ben, why does Killmonger look exactly the same in 2008 as he did in 2016?
Oh, because it's the same, Michael.
It's the same. It's the same. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Doesn't age. Doesn't change his haircut. Doesn't do nothing.
So Killmonger, a man of about 28, 29, was serving in Afghanistan in 2006.
He couldn't. That was a bit odd. So I don't know how old Michael B. Jordan is. He might be a little bit. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that Killmonger is 38, and therefore, or let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that Killmonger was 38 in 2016.
Right.
So therefore he was 30 in 2008, and it reasonably works. But why did he come out why did he had no character development between 2008 and 2016?
Zero.
Why do we see the exact same character? Everyone else is different. They've changed somehow, but like it's essentially they might as well have started by saying, "What if Killmonger had traveled back in time to 2008?"
Which possibly might have been more interesting. I don't know.
And Benjamin, why did he have superpowers?
This is a big one, Michael, isn't it? He's not Black Panther yet. For the majority
He's
of
not
this
Black
episode.
Panther yet. How is he chopping robots up?
How is he picking up missiles and giving them a lob, Michael?
The very first scene.
Like
That's like a 100-kilo bomb. And he one hand throws it.
Picks up
What's going on?
a warhead and he's just like, nah. And
Yeah.
He doesn't throw it, behind a rock or something. He doesn't throw it under
No.
the Humvee. No.
Yeah.
He chucks it. It goes like
Yeah.
a country.
Because a country mile. Michael B. Jordan's about my size, Ben. You can't do that.
You can't do
It's
that.
not physically possible. You'll hurt your back.
Also, there's a lot of weird conceits here, Michael. Tony Stark, smartest man on the planet, is just like, this guy's my best pal. I'm going to give him everything.
Yeah, I actually didn't mind that, to be honest,
Oh,
because,
okay.
he basically just slid in where Obadiah Stane was, because Obadiah Stane, the showdown scene where Tony finally figures it out was pretty similar.
Yeah.
It like in the original Iron Man, Tony Stark is waiting for Obadiah with a glass of whiskey when he comes in, and then Obadiah gets the better of him. But yeah, they just kill Tony Stark off in every episode now. It's quite funny.
What's that? Is it because they can't get Robert Downey Jr.? Is this another passive aggressive like Kevin Feige moment where it's like, son of a bitch won't come
Just
back
kill
and
him.
do voiceovers?
Just kill him and everything. Kill him and everything. Get Mike Wingert in and just kill him and everything. And Mike Wingert is like, all right, well, look, I appreciate the work, guys. That's how he talks when he's not Tony Stark. Oh, thanks, guys. It's a lot like my impression of you from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, look, listen, I really just appreciate the work. I don't mind being killed off in every episode.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. Kill me
Yeah.
all you like, lads.
Benjamin, it looks like this is going to have a sequel, though, because in the trailer, there is a scene with Shuri and Pepper running into Wakanda with guns. So there's only 2 episodes left.
If they chose to make this one, Michael, the two-parter, shame on them.
So disappointing. Be so
Shame
disappointing.
on them.
What if things were ever so slightly different?
Like, even... Okay, so here's the other few things, right? First of all, no ancestral revenge. There could have been a really interesting comeuppance for Killmonger when he travels to the ancestral plane after imbibing the bloody heart herb
Shaped herb
thing. And can you imagine a nice little square off in Killmonger's mind? Bloody T'Challa versus Killmonger. That'd have been good.
Yeah, Benjamin. I tell you what, practically everything Chadwick Boseman says in these episodes is so prophetic. This is he just clearly knew. It's like an epitaph. The whole thing is like a you googly. It's very upsetting. I don't like
It's
it.
very harrowing on occasion. You're like, okay. Spoilers if you haven't watched it, but okay, we're just gonna kill Black Panther. Okay,
Again,
and he's gonna give a speech about finding justice on the ancestral plane and making the most of okay, cool, yeah.
oh, not again, please.
Not again. There's only so much you can take, Michael, as a viewer of the MCU.
Yeah. Least favorite episode by far. I actually found it quite dull. First time I've ever looked at my watch during one of these.
Oh, absolutely. I was just like, when is it done?
It didn't go anywhere. It didn't introduce anything new. It
Didn't do anything interesting.
Even the other kind of less good one, the Sharon Carter one.
Yeah.
At least that gave us Sharon Carter as Captain America, and that was kind of cool. And it gave us the Hydra Smasher, aka Steve Rogers. Like, there were moments in that which were like, oh, that's a kind of cool idea. But there's nothing new in this other than vaguely anime robots.
What I would have enjoyed, Michael, is seeing Killmonger actually take on the mantle of Black Panther properly, like over a period of growth,
and see if it changes him and if he becomes a goodie.
Yeah, if he becomes a good, like there's an interesting. What if Killmonger wasn't a prick?
Yeah, or what if Killmonger got what he wanted and then became a hero?
Yeah, what if he got it and then it was like, oh, maybe this isn't the way to move forward? Or if you're at least going to have if you're going to get rid of Chadwick Boseman again, right? At least have him have some kind of impact on Killmonger's character. moving
Yeah.
forward.
Like maybe he changes his mind in the ancestral plane or something like that.
Yeah, anything. Anything, Michael, except for what if we just took the character from Black Panther and kept him exactly the same and made him do the plan again?
Last week I saw a film, as I recall, it was a horror film, Ben, and that film was Malignant by James Wan.
Oh, you're one.
You're one, James Wan, the one and only James Wan, Benjamin, your favourite horror director and mine. Benjamin, this little review and discussion cannot avoid spoilers.
Okay.
So we'll do light spoilers first and then the main spoilers.
Okay, we'll go with some light spoilers.
So the light spoilers, Ben, are that there is a twist.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Do you know what? Oh, you deserve a slap. You're one of those people. Oh,
what? Go on.
There's
Go on.
nothing worse than someone who says, I won't spoil it, right, but there's a twist. Because then all you do when you go to the film is you sit there and go,
Ben.
where's the twist?
Exactly.
Where's the
Exactly.
twist?
And I don't know if... My biggest criticism of this film is I figured the twist out within 15 minutes. And I don't know if I knew that because I'd seen like an ad that said, one of the most shocking twists in modern cinema. And I went, oh no.
Dicks.
Dicks.
Absolute
dicks. So I've ruined it for everyone now anyway. But in it, Ben...
Yeah.
I've forgotten the actress's name. How very unprofessional of me. In it, Ben, there's an actress. You might remember her from being Tom Cruise's refusal to be a love interest to Tom Cruise in The Mummy. English actress Annabelle Wallis, is that her name?
Could be.
And she plays a character, Ben. And it is, I was right. Oh, hey, I got it.
Good man.
And Annabelle Wallis, Ben, she plays a character and she's in abusive relationships and she's having miscarriages left, right and centre. And it's very horrible and unpleasant.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, no good. You don't want to have it. But then one night, Ben, mysteriously, some sort of malignant entity breaks into her house and kills her abusive husband.
Oh.
And attacks her. And the police investigate, Ben, and then over the course of the next hour, it is revealed that she has these visions wherein upon, Ben, she sees this malignant entity called Malignant. It's actually called... I won't say what it's called. She sees this malignant entity, Ben. She has visions of it killing people. Okay. So she contacts the police and tries to get their help to help save the people who are being attacked by the malignant entity.
Very good.
Yeah, and it's classic James Wan, top to bottom, Ben. There's attractive people. There's horrible, spooky ghost creatures. There's a lady cop and a man cop who are teaming up to do an investigation. There's a slightly comedy sidekick to the cops. No. It's James Wan, top to bottom, Ben. It's not particularly scary. It's not a horror film, I wouldn't say.
Oh, the poster is very deceptive then.
Yeah, I was expecting an Insidious. I was expecting super normal activities. I was expecting Sinister, but it's not. It's not about supernatural forces, really. It's about a creature. It's more of a creature feature.
Okay.
And the kind of the spookiness is that she can see what's happening with the creature. Do you want to guess what the twist is, Ben?
She's manifesting the creature?
Very good, Benjamin. You've got the twist.
Very good.
Yeah, so, let's go. Right, we're going into the main spoilers now. This is the real spoilers. So, Benjamin.
Yeah.
The twist, of course, is that we find out early in the film that she was adopted at a young age. And she can't remember her childhood before that, Ben. The memories have been repressed.
Oh, no.
And the memories of this creature are slowly revealed, Ben. And it turns out the creature is called Gabriel, Ben. And Gabriel is her imaginary friend from when she was a child. And now Gabriel is manifesting and killing people. But that's only the first twist, Ben.
Oh, there's double twists.
There's a double twist, Ben. And this is where I was extra disappointed because I figured out the double twist, not just the first twist. The double twist is, Ben, Gabriel isn't her imaginary friend. Gabriel's her twin, who she absorbed in utero and who lived on her back. And he was on the back of her head, Ben. He was on the back of her head like that guy in Harry Potter. What's that guy's name?
Quirrell, Professor Quirrell in Voldemort.
So Gabriel is on the back of her head, like like Voldemort and Professor Quirrell in Harry Potter, Ben. And when she was young, Ben, the doctors surgically removed Gabriel,
Right.
but they couldn't get all of him. This is mad. They couldn't get all of him, Ben. So they had to crack open her skull and push the bits of Gabriel that they couldn't remove just into the back of her head.
What?
Yeah. And then, Ben, this is the best bit. And then when her husband was abusing her, he banged her head off the wall, and that cracked her head open a little bit. And now Gabriel can come back out. So, Ben, Gabriel is just her facing backwards with a horror face coming out of the back of her head. And it's one of the maddest things I've ever seen in the cinema.
So this is a play on like a malignant tumor then?
Exactly, yeah. So Gabriel is a malignant tumor, but
What the fuck?
he's on the back of her head, Ben. And when he's on the back of her head, it's her running around backwards.
Get out of
Yeah,
town.
so she's running around backwards with this horror face on her head, killing people. Oh, it's so funny. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But
That's bizarre.
James Wan knows it's not scary. He knows he knows it's icky gross and
Okay.
horrible. Gross and horrible, but also slightly humorous. So it knows it has its tongue in its cheek. It's not. I mean, it's played straight. It's not played for laughs. It's played dead straight. But you know that James Wan knows that it's funny.
Huh.
But it's
sounds
absolutely. It's actually not that bad.
Okay.
I was thoroughly engrossed the whole time, despite. A lot of the time was spent just going, yeah, I know it's Gabriel. He's on the back of her head. Just show us, please, because I know I can see. You can see the monster is a woman running backwards a lot of the time. It's so
okay.
funny. It's so.
That's not so. So
Because
ideal.
a lot of the times you see the monster in like not necessarily daylight, but well lit scenes, and it's very funny, Ben.
Michael, come here to me.
Yeah.
Do you think the adoption market takes a hit whenever these films come out? And the moral of the story is basically, oh, you don't want to adopt. Adopted kids are weird.
Especially if the kid doesn't have any memories of what happened before.
It's a big market in horror where it's like if you foster a kid, if you adopt a kid, you don't know what you're gonna get because it could be a little demon boy.
You might get a demon boy. You might get a 30-year-old woman.
You might get the ghost of a mother haunting their child.
Yeah, you might get someone who has an evil twin on the back of their head and runs around backwards, breaking everyone's legs. It could be anything.
But like, surely adoption agencies must just go,
Oh, not again. Not again. Well, we'll always have Angelina Jolie and Madonna.
we just see if
They'll
they'll
keep
take
us in
a few
business.
more.
Yeah. Listen, Angelina, could you take a few more? And she's like, oh, yes, of course I could, yeah. No bother.
Go on. You will.
Come on, fair play,
You
no
will.
bother.
You'll take a few. You'll take a few orphans for the road. Go on, you will.
I will, yeah,
You will.
no bother at all, fair play to you.
Jesus.
That's my impression of Angelina Jolie. I've obviously
on.
never heard her speak. Yeah. Anyway, Benjamin,
Yeah.
if that film taught me anything, it's that if someone has repressed memories, it's almost certainly some sort of evil.
Yeah, it's no good. Repressed memories are no good, Michael. So much so that yourself and I, Michael, we decided to take a look at a very important topic this week, and that's memory lane. So we're going to be taking a look at bloody sci-fi and memory and the wicked web it often weaves, Michael.
What is real and what is not real?
You and I have been consuming memory narratives this week, Michael, in the hopes that we find some way of forgetting our earliest episodes of this podcast, which are just horrific, ladies and gentlemen. Never go back and listen.
Very bad.
Never
The audio,
go back and
Ben.
listen.
The audio.
The audio. Oh. So having said that, now we've now jinxed this episode, Michael, and it sounds like somebody's speaking inside a Rice Krispie bag on one of our ends.
Probably one of our worst ones.
What we decided, Michael, was we take a look at this because, Michael, there's a new film out with one huge jacked man.
I've heard of him. Yeah, Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine, huge jacked man, and he's in it, and it's a film called Reminiscence, Michael. Reminiscence, and it's about a memory expert.
Okay.
And the memory expert, Michael, it's set in the not too distant future, which seems to be a common theme for memory films.
Benjamin, have you seen this film?
Yes, I have seen this film.
When did you see this film?
I saw this film this very weekend, Michael.
In the cinema?
No.
Okay. Enough said.
No.
All right. But somehow perfectly legally.
It's out on streaming, Michael. You can find it in the streamables. Yes.
Oh, very good. Okay.
But no.
Which streaming is it on?
One of them.
Oh, very good.
It's on one of them.
Ben, you should have said I can't remember.
I think it's on HBO Max, I think.
Okay. Very good.
So I got a flight over there. I did my lateral flow test. Got a flight over.
That's no good, Ben. You have to get a PCR test.
That's what I said. I got a PCR test. And I flew over. And the thing. Anyway, Michael, I went and had a look at this. And it's a neo-noir, Michael, set in a not too distant future Los Angeles, or Miami, sorry, future Miami. And Michael, the fun thing about the setting, if fun can be applied to it, is that it's a world where the waters have risen across the globe.
Oh, aka the actual future.
AKA the actual future. So it's not too distant. I think it's about 30 years in the future, Michael. And one of the things that we see is that this man runs a memory service to allow people to access the nostalgia in their brain, because the world is a bit shite. The logic behind this the logic behind this business is there's not a lot of good things in the world anymore, so it's easier to go back to find some.
Right.
So that's his logic, Michael.
Who is this?
It's Hugh Jackman.
Oh, Hugh Jackman runs the memory clinic.
Hugh Jackman is the memory clinic guy, and he runs it with one Tandy Newton.
Oh, I've heard of her.
Tandy Newton. May in this is her name.
She was in the Chronicles of Riddick.
And The West World.
Yeah.
We see these two, and they very often, Michael, have different clients in. We get to see some war veterans who've seen better days. We get to see some people who've lost dogs or loved ones or things like this, and they go back in their memories and they have a look, Michael. And it's done in a perfect little MacGuffin sense, Michael. There's a big kind of tank where the person goes in and they stick their little web head device on to access the synapses or the neurons or some such guff.
Whatever you need to access.
Some such mindy-windy stuff. And then Hugh Jackman stands in front of a kind of a projection thing, and he can kind of walk through the memory with them and guide them through.
Oh, very good.
And essentially, Hugh Jackman's role in this is that he has a very calming voice, Michael. And he gets to walk people through their memories, quite literally walks them down memory lane. But Michael.
Uh-oh, it's a twist.
It's bloody addictive to go into your memories, Michael. And if you're not careful, not careful, you'll get stuck. So, Michael, what happens is, naturally, one day he meets a beautiful client played by Rebecca Ferguson, Michael, and she's the femme fatale of this whole piece.
She was from Iron Man 3, Ben.
She was from Iron Man 3, Michael, and Peaky Blinders, and other things. Noted Irish actress, Rebecca Ferguson.
Is she Irish?
She's half Irish, apparently.
Is she?
Yeah. So, anyway, Michael.
Go on.
She comes in, and she charms him, and then one day, Michael, he falls completely head over heels in love with her over the course of time, and one day, Michael, she disappears without so much as a trace.
Classic setup.
Disappears.
What's going to happen?
And Michael, what does Hugh Jackman do? He only spends all of his time in his memories, Michael, trying to find where she is. And it leads him on a big bloody conspiracy right down the well, involving the city's biggest politicians and some bloody murders and some bloody disappearances. And it's just a big noir, Michael, set in the future with a memory tank.
Rebecca Ferguson wasn't in Iron Man 3. That was Michelle Monaghan, wasn't it?
Ah, damn it, Michael.
Or was it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know at all. But anyway, so it's a big neo-noir adventure. Now, we'll do a few spoilers here, Michael.
Go on.
We'll do a few spoilers here. So, spoilers, listen away now if you want to go and have a reminiscence. If you want to go watch some of that, don't listen to this. But what happens is, Michael, it turns out that this lady was not who she seemed. She was a big old con woman, Michael. And poor old Hugh Jackman was being taken for a bit of a spin. So it's a classic noir story. We have our gumshoe, who in this case is played by Hugh Jackman. He's taken for a bit of a spin. He's made a rube by the femme fatale, and he gets himself involved in some real mucky business. It's not a terrible film.
Very good. That sounds exciting then.
not a terrible film. Could be a lot better. Could be a lot better. And the memory tank has a serious flaw in it, in that it's like walking through a movie scene where you can see everybody and what they do, and that doesn't really make sense. He tries to explain that away at the start of the film, where he's like, oh, well, your senses pick up lots of things and you actually build a picture in your mind, and when you actually think of a memory, you don't think of the memory from your point of view, you see yourself in the memory. So that's why I can see the room that you were in, or I can see you within the memory, and you're there going, hang on.
That, Ben, that is actually one of the strongest arguments about the film's Total Recall, which we might get to in a while. We might get to those in a while, Bell, if we remember. But it's one of the strongest arguments that what's happening is real rather than fake, because we see things that Arnold or Colin Farrell couldn't possibly have seen.
Yeah, so you're there going, hang on.
Hang on a minute. Benjamin.
Yeah.
My mind is playing tricks on me. It was neither Michelle Moynihan nor Rebecca Ferguson. It was Rebecca Hall in Iron Man 3.
Oh, well, there you go. One of the Rebeccas got you.
One of the Rebeccas. They're always tricking me.
The Tribeca.
No, but only two of them were called Rebecca. So close, though, Ben.
It would have been a great joke if I had been right. So, as I was watching this, Michael, I was sitting there going, I've seen this before. I've seen a down on his luck man peddling memories and nostalgia to people, who is aided by his ex-military badass ethnically ambiguous partner who might be in love with him. I've seen this before, and the woman that he's obsessed with isn't great. And Michael, they've gone and remade the film Strange Days by Catherine Bigelow and James Cameron.
I've never heard of it. What's that?
Michael, in 1995, James Cameron was on a bit of a sci-fi roll.
Yeah, he was in the ocean, probably.
He was in the ocean, probably, in a submarine.
Yeah.
At the bottom of the ocean, going, should probably write another film.
Yeah.
And so he was down there in his underwater desk room, also known as a study.
Yeah, or office. Desk room is fine, though.
This was pre-2000, so I think the Y2K bug might have made its way to one James Cameron, and he said, "Oh Jesus, Y2K is going to change everything. It's going to change everything, man." It's not like James Cameron to aim for an apocalypse, but there you go. There you go. He's always trying unique new things that he hasn't tried before. So anyway, he's writing another apocalypse narrative, Michael.
Yeah,
but this one again is in the not so distant future. So the film was released in 1995. And it's set in 1999, a couple of days before New Year's. Yeah, the best year, Michael. And what it's about, what it centers on, is one Rafe Fiennes, Michael. Yeah, Rafe Fiennes is a cop,
right,
who's down on his luck.
Yeah,
and he makes his living selling other people's memories to people using what's called squid technology. So squid technology is a little mesh that you put in your head, Michael.
Oh, I've seen that before.
And it sits on your head, and using that you can plug in your memory. It's like a little mini disc, and it goes in, and your memory goes in. Then you can experience the memory. So what you get is a lot of acting of people going, and kind of waving their fingers in their hair.
Benjamin, you look like you're having a memory of touching some very large bosoms, I have to say.
But anyway, that's pretty
might
much
be your
90%
limited range,
of the
Ben.
film. That's 90% of the film. So Rafe Fiennes kind of sets himself up as a grandiose kind of peddler of memory, and I can give you anything you want. Most people just want tits, apparently, and it's a lot of smut. So that's pretty much the film. But anyway, it turns out, Michael, that he's not so competent. He's a bit of a galumph, and occasionally has to be rescued by his ethnically ambiguous pal Angela Bassett.
Oh, Angela Bassett, she was in Black Panther.
Who may or may not be in love with him.
Oh, very good.
So, Strange Days is a bizarre film, Michael, because it's directed by Oscar award-winning Catherine Bigelow, back when she was married to James Cameron, and then they divorced later on, Michael. So this is a kind of baby between them. It was a huge flop, Michael, and I hazard a guess it was something to do with the 2 hours and 25 minutes of my life that I had to give to it to watch the damn film.
So long. I think I've seen it, Ben.
You probably have.
I've seen it. I think I have seen it. Benjamin.
Yeah.
Is Reminiscence about the current pop culture and, just zeitgeist obsession with nostalgia?
I mean, I think it's definitely a commentary on that. I think the idea of people getting lost in memory is definitely, it's a lack of staying in the present. The moral of the film is not great though in Reminiscence, because in the end, and this is huge spoilers for the film Reminiscence.
For Hugh Jackman.
In the end, Michael, the lady con artist played by Rebecca Ferguson, she dies.
Oh no.
And Hugh Jackman uncovers the whole conspiracy and then decides to stay in his tank and live in the memory that he had with her.
It's to stay in the comforting memory, Ben. That's exactly what nostalgia is.
But there's a little epilogue, Michael, where it shows us Tandy Newton, who is still tending to his tank about 60 years later. So we get a Supernatural style moment where we see Hugh Jackman aged up a bit, still in the tank.
Oh, no use. Very bad.
And it's awful. But yeah, it could definitely be the moral. I think this Strange Days film, Michael, has been cannibalized by a lot of other things, because a lot of the things that we see in that would go on to shape a lot of sci-fi that would come after. So Ralph Fiennes does a pretty decent job of playing like a mopey, schlubby detective kind of guy. Mm-hmm. And the main crux of the Julianne, what's her name?
Julianne Moore?
It's not Julianne Moore. It's the
Julianne Moore, I think you're thinking of.
Natural Born Killers.
Oh yeah. Don't know.
Escapes me. Anyway, huge 90s actress whose name I cannot remember now. Juliette Lewis. There we go.
Juliette Lewis.
Juliette Lewis is in it. And she's the woman who got away for Ralph Fiennes' character.
Oh, right.
And it's a real seedy 1990s world in LA, and it's like, oh man, it's so crazy. Vinny D'Onofrio's in it as a crooked cop.
Oh, Vinny D.
Vinny D is in it as a crooked cop. And the central idea behind it is, Michael, the world's is teetering on the brink of collapse. Socioeconomic disparity is at an all-time high. The elite are living up in their ivory towers. The world economy has collapsed. It's pretty much 2021, but just 20 years earlier. That's pretty much where we are in this film, where racial tensions are very high, so on and so forth. And then a noted black rapper and kind of activist called Jericho 1 is murdered in the streets, Michael.
Right.
And what kicks off this whole thing, Michael, is that a young lady of the night who was with Jericho 1 witnessed this event. She was filming the entire thing through her memory rig. So you can wear a different memory rig that allows you to record whatever you're seeing. So this is how they make these memories and distribute them. And she was trying to record him for a bit of blackmail, right? And she witnesses 2 police officers execute him in cold blood. And this is seen as the match that will light the kind of powder keg that is LA at this time, right? And
that is just the narrative about LA, isn't it? LA, you've really done yourself a bit of reputational damage, LA.
Yeah, no, it's never done very well. It's always has a hard L time. LA is the end times in every film. It's really weird.
The end times is brought on by LA being shit.
We see that film, Michael. It's far too long. It's actually enjoyable in places. It's not that bad. It's bizarre that it's flopped as much as it has.
Sometimes when high concept science fiction needs a more popular version to make people go, oh, that's what it meant.
Yeah, but it's bizarre that it's
Benjamin,
such a big, huge film. Go on.
I made a gross error.
Okay.
And you told me, God damn it, Mick, watch Total Recall. Because off air, our reputation is our relationship is very different. People think on air we're quite friendly and charming, but
we actually hate each other.
You're very demanding. You're one of the worst. So you just rang me and you said, God damn it, Leonard, watch Total Recall. And then you threw my badge at me. I have a badge, a special podcasting badge. And I said, okay, I'll watch Total Recall, Ben. Just please don't break my fingers anymore. Yeah, and I went and I accidentally, So under so much stress was I placed, Ben, that I forgot to watch the good Total Recall, and I accidentally watched the bad Total Recall.
Oh, you plank.
Oh, what an absolute gobshite. So, Benjamin, I watched...
Oh my God, I'm going to have your podcasting badge for this.
Oh, no. Oh, no. And in your badge and your mic. Benjamin.
Yeah.
So I accidentally watched 2012 or 2014, I don't remember, Total Recall 2077 with one Colin Farrell.
With the Farreller.
Kate Beck. With the Farreller. The Farreller is your favourite actor and mine, the Farreller. Kate Beckinsale and Jessica Biel. And I'll tell you what, Ben, it's no good. It's because it's set in the year 2077, Ben, and the world has gone. It's the kind of a shit world, and everything's polluted and horrible. And you know, it's your classic. I wish I was in Blade Runner aesthetic. Mm-hmm. And there's the elites, Ben, and they live in their ivory towers, but everyone else is down in the muck and the grossness.
Wait, I have a vague memory of this happening before, Michael.
And the Farreller, Ben, the Farreller, he plays an average, down on your luck, incredibly handsome schlub. And he's poor. And
one of those.
One of those incredibly handsome, down on your luck schlubs. And he's in a dead end job in a dead end house. He's married to Kate Beckinsale inexplicably, and she seems fine with all of this.
What a terrible way to go!
Yeah, and it's terrible. He has a terrible life. So Benjamin, he dreams many dreams that he's a resistance fighter, and he's helping the colony. Ben, it's not Mars, it's Australia, and he's helping the colony fight against the evil oppression of Great Britain. And
no good.
He keeps having this dream, Ben, about Jessica Biel. So he decides, I'm going to go and I'm going to get out of my boring life, and I'm going to go to Recall, because you can go to Recall, Ben, and in Recall they'll give you memories.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
And they'll give you any sort of memory you want. So you could have a holiday, you could have an adventure, you could be a spy, you could be anything you want. But Ben,
that'd be nice.
The most important thing is you can't have made up fake memories implanted that match real memories.
I can't be doing that.
So Ben, if you're having an affair, if you're cheating on your wife, you can't go and have a recall experience of having a secret mistress, because the real and the imaginary will mix it up and confuse everything. Yeah, so you can't do that, Ben. And moments before they implant his spy story into his mind, they discover he already has memories of being a spy.
Dun dun. Dun.
And then that's pretty much it as far as the memories go, unfortunately. Then after that, it's not a horrible... well, I mean, let's put it this way, Ben. I forgot to stay awake until the end of it.
Michael, you've failed horribly in your pursuit of podcasting this week.
I fell asleep, but I woke up and watched the end of it again, even though I was
good.
Bored.
Well, then you recommitted yourself.
I recommitted. I got back on track. And... yeah, unfortunately, it kind of almost entirely drops the kind of the most exciting part of the original Total Recall, which is the first time you watch the original Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sharon Stone, Ben.
Yes.
The first time you watch it, it's just an action film on Mars.
Great stuff.
But then it's really a fascinating story about, is this really happening? Or is this what he asked for?
We just don't know.
Because you just don't know. And 25, 35, whatever it is years later, we still just don't know if Arnold Schwarzenegger's story was real or if it was the adventure that he paid for. Personally, I suspect it was the adventure that he paid for, that the whole thing is in his head.
Got him.
But the new modern one with the Farreller seems pretty clear that it is actually happening. And you could at a stretch say it isn't, but it doesn't. The problem with it is it doesn't really matter. You don't really care.
The joy out of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And there's not a lot of joy in the film. One of the best scenes in the original Total Recall was Arnold coming back to his wife Sharon Stone.
Yes.
And being attacked by her. And then it's this shocking twist that his wife was, his special CIA operative watcher.
Yeah, handler.
And she handler, that's the word. And she tries to kill him, and he wins, he beats her up and escapes. And
classic Arnold.
Classic Arnie, he gives her a big punch. When he's already beaten her, then he gives her a big punch right in the head. Like enough to kill her woman of her size. That's neither here nor there.
One of my favorite things about any Arnold Schwarzenegger film, is when
he'll
people
punch
get
a
back
woman
up after he punches them. And it's just like, you're not getting up if that man hits you.
You probably would, Ben. He's not that big in real life.
Shut up.
He's only about 6 foot tall, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He's fucking huge, Michael.
He isn't.
The man's made of Austrian steel and grit. You're just
he's a big lad. He's a big lad. And look, Sharon Stone's not going to beat him in a fight, that's for sure. But Sharon Stone only appears one more time then in it. and she
Right.
appears back as the loving wife.
Okay.
And it's all confusing and memory wipey and
Yeah.
windy. But in the Colin Farrell one, Kate Beckinsale is like a Terminator. Once she gets activated, she just pursues him relentlessly for the entire film, to the point where the whole "is she his wife? Is this really happening?" It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because
It's
she's
just
the
a
Terminator.
Yeah, because she's the Terminator. She's like a sexy English Terminator lady. It is directed by Len Wiseman, Ben. You won't be surprised to hear.
I'm not shocked.
No, very, very obviously they've massively increased the role of the wife and given it to his wife. It's a fine film. It's a decent action film, but it misses the whole "is this memories or is this real?"
Yeah.
thing that makes the original so fascinating.
Yeah, because that's like the central thing that we enjoy about that. I always think it's a wonderful tool for building, unreliable narrators as well. So we can kind of
Go on.
have the big reveal of like, oh no, what is this? It's wrong all along. Blade Runner 2049 did that magnificently, Michael.
Go on.
We have poor LK. Poor LK.
Ben, as I like to call him.
Yes, because I once dressed up as him.
Yes.
So we have poor LK, Michael, and K is a replicant in the employ of the
Or
yet
is he?
again the LAPD.
They're no use, those lads.
LA. Look, lads, I found the secret to avoiding the apocalypse. Don't live in LA. Don't
stay
go
out of
near it, and try to avoid being working class. Do those two things, be grand.
You'd be grand, yeah.
You'd be grand. But anyway, poor LK is kind of he's a half replicant, Michael. He's a bit of a both. He's a hybrid fella. He's a newer model, and they've got all kinds of biological stuff in them, and this and that. He's a stronger one. He heals quicker. All this kind of stuff, and he hunts down other replicants, and that makes him no good. No good. But Michael, he's struggling with some memories. He seems
Whose
to
memories
have,
are they?
I mean, this is the thing, Michael. They seem to be his own. He seems to be struggling, Michael, with the notion that he had a childhood. But replicants can't have childhoods, Michael.
No, because they're robots.
The whole conceit of the film is that bloody Jared Leto, boo, is trying to
him
make
out of there,
perfect
Ben. I don't want him.
replicants.
I don't want him in my films.
You don't want to get rid of him, and he can't seem to get it right. He keeps making bad replicants, or not bad replicants, but not human enough replicants. And it's only ever happened the once, Michael. And the central conspiracy of it is that Harrison Ford and the character of Rachel might have had a baby.
The actor Harrison Ford and the character Rachel.
Yes.
Very good, okay.
But they're both replicants, Michael. So that would mean... What? What do you mean? What do you mean they had a baby? They can't do that because they're robots. But anyway, it turns out that the Tyrell Corp, the original corporation, may have cracked the code and may have pulled that off. So Kay is then kind of deludes himself into believing that he might be that baby. Because he has memories of being a child. And how can he have memories of being a child, Michael? He's a replicant.
If he's a robot, yeah, he's a robot. Ben, he's the classic chosen one narrative.
It is. It's the classic chosen one narrative, Michael. But then, of course, it's inverted because we find out, Michael, that many replicants are given implanted memories for better service because it mimics human nature a lot more. If you have a couple of nice memories to draw upon, or a couple of driving memories, or a couple of formative memories to give you the push. And it turns out, Michael, that yes. Harrison Ford did have a baby with Rachel, but she got taken in and made into a memory maker, someone who designs and builds memories for replicants. And it's this kind of fascinating world, and we get the little changes. The best memories are the ones that have a little bit of the maker in them, so the maker uses their own memories to build on and create new, exciting memories for people to enjoy. And it seems to be a little bit of an entertainment industry in LA as well, where you can jack into other people's memories yet again, Michael, and kind of enjoy those. But it's an interesting look at it. It's a really deep dive into the fallibility of memory and where we pick things up and what we've done. And it makes for a really interesting narrative, Michael, I thought. And
Benjamin,
yes,
if you could experience someone's memories, whose memories would you experience?
Oh, it's a great question, Michael.
Yeah, probably the actor Harrison Ford.
Probably the actor Harrison Ford. I was just about to say that, Michael. Well done.
Just to see how much he really hated being on Star Wars.
It's quite a bit, I'd imagine. And then I'd like to see it. Then I'd like to go to the memory of him opening the paycheck and forgetting all that hatred. You know, damn this film for making me the biggest actor ever. God damn it.
Look at the size of this paycheck, though. I won't have to do any more sexy carpentry.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, like it's pretty interesting. But the one that stuck out to me, Michael, and I had nearly forgotten it up until I was researching for this episode, the most harrowing use of sci-fi that I have seen, of memory in sci-fi that I have seen, is from Black Mirror season 1.
Black Mirror season 1, Ben.
Black Mirror season 1.
Where that man,
go
the
ahead.
man had relations with a pig.
Yes, that was very harrowing, Michael. But not actually the moment I'm referring to. The episode I'm referring to, Michael, is, do you remember the one where you could record everything through your eyeballs and then play it back with a little remote in your hand?
Was Donald Gleason in that?
Donald Gleason wasn't in that one. Donald Gleason was a different kind of one where you could load someone else's memories into a robot in case they died, and you could have a surrogate.
Oh, yeah.
Very harrowing also. Not fun.
Very upsetting, yeah.
And
repeated then in that make a clone of yourself one from the TV show Duets or whatever it was called.
I can't remember
Solos.
what it was called, but yes, you're not wrong. What actually happened there, Michael, in that episode is we're introduced to a character played by
Toby Kibble.
Toby Kibble. Yeah, thank you. Very good. Excellent work there.
Is it that episode?
That episode, Michael. And what humans can do at this stage, and what's become a very standard use of the technology, is they can record everything through their eyeballs. So if there's, say, a crime, Michael, if there's, say, a crime, you have like a Minority Report style investigation where the police are allowed to access your memory or your vision from the last 24 hours. So you can scroll through your memory for the last 24 hours.
Right.
And you can have a bloody look and see what's happened.
Oh, that's a bit of an invasion of privacy, Ben, considering they can't even get into our phones yet.
Well, they're on the way to doing that, Michael. Don't worry. Dystopia is coming. Ray Fiennes will be selling memories in no time.
Great, grand, fantastic. Benjamin,
Yeah.
do we all have to marry Kate Beckinsale and then be chased by her for 95 minutes?
Just you, buddy. Just you.
Oh, okay.
That's your
Imagine that'd be
favourite memory.
terrifying.
I find that absolutely terrifying. But yeah, the really harrowing thing about that, Michael, is you can spend as much time as you want in your memory.
Right.
And when someone is scrolling through their memory, their eyes kind of glaze over and turn into little TV screens. And they flash back and have a look at things like that. But one of the things that's happened here, Michael, is that this poor man is going through a divorce. And what he's doing, in a rather creepy, nasty way, is he's just replaying all the different moments with his wife. Particularly, Michael, the more lurid consummation of the relationship style moments.
Oh, classic.
So it's all a bit perverted, Michael.
Is it?
Yeah, and then he's finding out.
No, hold on. Is it?
Yeah, he's a bit of a perv. That's the
Why?
whole thing. He's a bit of a creep because he can't let go.
But it's his memories.
Replaying. I know, but that's the interesting thing. So she's filing to have those memories taken away, Michael, if I remember correctly.
What?
You can, yeah. So that's the
What
interesting
sort of
thing.
dystopia is this?
You can file to have those memories taken away if they're if you consider. But anyway, he's driven to madness, Michael, and the crux of a TV show that came out 10 years ago, 12 years ago now,
Maybe.
is that he seems to have murdered her, Michael, and he's looking for a way to scrub his memory so the police can't find him.
Oh.
So it's a pretty interesting use of it. Say again?
That puts a new twist on it.
It does, but the moral of the story is, Michael, as with all of these, Reminiscence, Strange Days, bloody Toby Kibble and his wife, is you best not spend too much time in memory now, because memories are meant to fade.
I
That
think
line,
they're all reflections.
that line is directly lifted from Strange Days and Reminiscence. It's the exact same line, and it's delivered by the exact same character. So the ethnically ambiguous character in Strange Days is called May, and the ethnically ambiguous female side character in Strange Days is called Macy, and they both deliver the same line, which is, "Do you not think memories are meant to fade?" And they deliver it to the protagonist.
Tom Cruise.
And I was like, somebody is taking the absolute piss here, and it's just lifted this film.
Funnily enough, Ben, we've only scratched the surface of memory-based science fiction now that we've gotten into it.
Yeah, we have. There's loads.
We haven't touched, Ben, Memento.
Classic.
Or Inception.
Inception has a lot of that going on as well, Michael.
Yeah. Or
Minority Report, what I mentioned earlier.
Is Minority Report about memories? Isn't that about the future?
People get trapped in their own memories, Michael. That's
In
how they
Minority
imprison them.
Report? Do they?
They do. They get stuck in the little tank, trapped in their own mind.
Yeah, the classic Star Trek episode Shades of Grey, where we go into Commander Riker's memories as a way to just do a clip show.
Oh yeah, Commander Riker, great news.
We should do an episode on clip shows, Ben. The best and worst clip shows.
Oh, they're awful. I hate them.
Well, let's save it up. Save up that spite.
We'll save up that spot and we'll unload it on a future episode, Michael. Anyway, I suppose that's really it, Michael.
That's probably enough, yeah.
That's
We're probably
enough for the podcast for this week.
wearing out our memories. That's a terrible.
That was awful.
Couldn't think
we
of
should probably go
thing to
make
say.
some
Couldn't
new
think-
memories together, Michael. That's what we should be doing.
Much better.
Much better. Ladies and gentlemen, what are your favourite kind of memory moments in sci-fi? You can get in touch with us in a bunch of different ways and let us bloody know. You'll find us on the interwebs, www.seanrebeag.com. That was one too many W's. SEOMRABEAG.com.
Yeah, it means tiny room in Irish. I don't think it was. I think you said 3 W's.
Oh, that's good news, isn't it? You can find us on the bloody Instagram at Sure Look Sure Listen Podcast.
It means sure look, sure listen in English.
You can find us on Twitter at Listener.
Yeah, you can. We're there.
But lads,
Go on. Go on.
if you want to contribute to this podcast, if you want to have your on-screen name dropped mid-episode like it was today, get up on that Discord.
Hop up on it.
Get up on it where you can communicate with Michael or myself in real time. Like
Real
the
time.
future.
Sometimes we'll even answer.
Most of the time we don't even answer. That's not true. We try to answer as many as possible. Do get up there, have a chat with us, let us know what you think of the episode, or let us know what you'd like to hear on future episodes, or just bloody tell us we're awful. It doesn't really matter. It's grand.
As long as there's engagement.
As long as there's engagement. You can see us in a week's time, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about the topic. I'm not sure what topic we're on next week because we're in the middle of a negotiation on that topic. So we'll have to stay tuned to be certified. TBC.
We'll figure it out.
And we'll figure it out. That's it from us this week, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everybody. Don't forget to remember. Ooh.